A few nights ago, I watched probably the most horrifying movie that I've ever seen in my entire life. It's a post-nuclear war type movie, but not like any of the others that I've seen before. The name of the film is On the Beach. Now, I've got to explain where it started. It started with a novel. There was a movie back in the 50s, and then this was the remake. Since then, I've watched both movies. I haven't read the book. I intend to. But I'm here to tell you that it's absolutely just frightening. It's on YouTube. Actually, both movies are on YouTube. I'll put the links down in the description. I'm not going to give up any spoilers. I'll just get up to the plot and not give up any spoilers of how the movie plays out. So don't worry about that. I'll just get into what the plot is and discuss the reason why I just found it just terrifying. So here we go. I got to put my old man glasses on. Let me just go to Wikipedia. All right, so On the Beach is a 2000 film. On the Beach is a 2000 apocalyptic drama television film starring Armand Assante, Brian Brown, and Rachel Ward. In America, it aired on Showtime on 28 May 2000, and in Australia, it aired on Channel 7. It's a remake of a 1959 film, which was also based on the 1957 novel by Neville Shute, but updates the setting of the story to the film's then future of 2006, placing the crew on a fictional Los Angeles class submarine, the USS Charleston. Okay, so that's the film that I'm talking about. Now, both films are absolutely great films, but I found the newer version, the one in 2000 with Armand Assante, to be the one that's just frightening. So let's go to the novel. On the Beach is an apocalyptic novel published in 1957 by British author Neville Shute after he immigrated to Australia. It details the experiences of a group of people in Melbourne as they await the arrival of deadly radiation spreading towards them from the northern hemisphere, following a nuclear war some years previously. As the radiation approaches, each person deals with impending death differently. Shute's initial story was published as a 4-part series, The Last Days on Earth, in the London weekly periodical Sunday Graphic in April of '57. For the novel, he expanded the storyline, and the story has been adapted twice as a film, one in 1959 and one in 2000, and once as a BBC radio broadcast in 2008. The phrase "on the beach" is a Royal Navy term that indicates retirement from service. Now, it's also, the term that when you say on the beach, like from the federal government, like say you got in trouble, somebody got in trouble and got their ass in a sling and they got 2 weeks on the beach. That's how we used to use it in the government, to mean that somebody got in trouble and they got suspended for 2 weeks. What happened to so-and-so? Oh man, he fucked up real bad. He got 30 days on the beach. You got 30 days off. So anyhow, according to this article, the Royal Navy term means it's retirement from service. A little different from the G in America. 30 days on the beach means you got suspended for 30 days. The title also refers to T.S. Eliot's poem, The Hollow Men, which includes the lines, In this last of meeting places, we grope together and avoid speech, gathered on this beach of the tumid river. Okay, so talk about the plot of the book. I'll just get into the first paragraph. I'm not going to give up any spoilers. It's 1963. The setting is Australia. The previous year, a short nuclear war had erupted, devastating most of the populated world, polluting the atmosphere with nuclear fallout, and killing all human and animal life in the northern hemisphere. The war began with a nuclear attack by Albania on Israel. Egypt attacked the United States, and the UK attacked Egypt. That sparked a war between NATO and the Soviet Union, after which the Soviets and China destroyed each other. Some 4,000 cobalt and other super bombs were detonated. Global air currents are slowly carrying the lethal nuclear fallout across the intertropical convergence zone to the southern hemisphere. The only parts of the planet still habitable are Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and the southern parts of South America. It's quite interesting since a bunch of billionaires have all flocked down to Argentina in recent times, building places down there. However, they are slowly succumbing to radiation poisoning as well. Australia now has 8 months to live. Short of oil, automobile, newsprint, Australians meander through a fatalistic existence that has suddenly lost meaning. Now, that's as far as I'll go into the book. The plot on the 1959 film changes just a little bit. Let's go over that, and then we'll get into the main topic. Okay, the 59 film stars Gregory Peck, Ava Gardner, Fred Astaire, and Anthony Perkins. Let's see, unlike the novel, no one is assigned blame for starting the war, which attributes global annihilation to fear compounded by accident or misjudgment. The film received mixed reviews from critics. Okay, in the future year of 1964, World War III has devastated the northern hemisphere, killing all humans there. The cobalt bomb's fallout is elevated compared to that of atomic bombs and hydrogen bombs. Air currents are slowly carrying the fallout to the southern hemisphere, where Melbourne, Australia, will be the last major city on Earth to perish. So Melbourne is going to be the last humans on Earth. The American nuclear submarine, the USS Sawfish, arrives in Melbourne and is placed under Royal Australian Navy Command. Okay, so there you go. That's as far as I'm going to go. Again, pretty much, obviously following the book with some differences. Now, the big differences that are scary as shit in modern times come from the film with Armand Assante in 2000. Okay, so let's go ahead and just, again, I'm not going to give up any spoilers, but the main plot is nuclear war. There's a U.S. submarine that sails into Australia, where the last humans will be on the planet. Okay, again, it's a 2000 film. The USS Charleston is equipped with a Caterpillar drive and is on station following a nuclear exchange under the command of Dwight Towers. A devastating war that contaminated the northern hemisphere was preceded by a standoff between the United States and China after the latter blockaded and later invaded Taiwan. Both countries are destroyed, as is most of the world. The submarine crew finds refuge in Melbourne, Australia, which the radioactive fallout has not yet reached. Let's see, through radio communications with several radio operators farther north than Australia indicate that radiation has reached their countries and will be in Australia in a few months. So that's the plot. That's the plot of the movie. You know, 3 different versions from the book and the 2 movies as to how it started. But the most recent movie is what? U.S. versus China over a blockade and later invasion of Taiwan, which leads to the end of humanity. With the radiation inbound to take out the last humans living on the earth. It is a scary, scary movie. I'm going to tell you right now. And I'm not talking about in a graphic way. You know, it's not a horror film, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, anything like that. For me, what the scariest part was just the absolute helplessness that we as humans will have if that chain of events do break down. Just helplessness. There's nothing you can do. There is nowhere you can go. There is nowhere that you can hide in that scenario. And there's a line in the movie where it talks about, you know, humans have amassed these nuclear weapons to protect themselves, although it's suicide to use them. There is such flaws in our logic as humans. We have amassed nuclear weapons to protect ourselves, but if we use them, it's the suicide of humanity. So I recommend that you watch at least the 2000 movie. Now I am going to get a hold of the book and read the book as well. But again, both films are available right here on YouTube. Definitely watch it, because what it'll do, and what it's done to me, is like reset and really bring home the thinking of this Taiwan issue. Okay, Iran is one issue. Okay, the only reason that the United States hasn't humbled Iran is because we're trying to fight people without breaking a functioning gas station. Okay, the target list can include anything to break the gas station. It's a functioning gas station. Obviously, everything is going to get hyped up to keep you glued to a TV screen and the news. But that's not, Iran doesn't keep me up at night. The CCP is what causes me to think about it late at night when I'm staring up and looking at the stars. So ask yourself this, you know, we all talk a mean game about Taiwan and this and that, but are we willing to risk some type of nuclear conflict over that rock? Was it 23 million people, if I remember correctly, somewhere in there? Wonderful people, nothing against you. I love you. But I'm not willing to risk nuclear war over defending that particular rock. Let's just get down to reality. It's better to pull up cargo ships and passenger ships and say, everybody get on board, welcome to America, you're now U.S. citizens, let them have it. Take this fucking rock that's right off their coast, it's personal to them, let them motherfuckers have it. I'm not willing to risk anything over this issue. Now that I've truly evaluated it, I mean, it's pretty much been my position all along. It's just one of those things that the juice is not worth the squeeze. Now, I got drunk one time, pissed off at Xi Jinping, said a bunch of shit. I still don't like it. But I'm not willing to go to war with you over Taiwan. Let's work it out. Let's figure this shit out. Now, the other islands in the first island chain is a different story. But that particular issue is not worth the risk of something going wrong. Somebody, well, I don't want to give up any of the plot in the movie, but it's again, the Taiwan issue, the juice is not worth the squeeze. There you go. This probably won't be a popular video. Probably won't get hardly any views, thanks to the YouTube squirrels not pushing it. But, you know, a lot of y'all watch my show, you think about retiring, doing research for retirement. Where are you going to retire? Right here. Well, guess what's going on right out here in the West Philippine Sea? It just keeps escalating with the Chinese out there. You got to pick and choose our battles. You know what I mean? But for them to save a lot of face, well, if they don't take Taiwan, they're going to lose a lot of face. So they're going to take Taiwan one way or the other. I think it's going to be what I call the peaceful reunification. It'll be done with drones and it was taking over the airways. Very few personnel involved. May not even be a shot fired. And it'll go down so quick that nobody will be able to react anyhow. But were it to come to some type of open conflict, the risk of that elevating out of control is not worth it. So there you go. There's my talk for the day. Is this about retirement? Not really. But really it is. Where do you plan on moving for your retirement if you're leaving your home country? Well, a lot of people retired in the Ukraine. People were doing videos. How much the cost of living, street food. Not that they're still not. But you see what I mean. Everybody was over there, retiring over there, living life, having a great retirement until the bombs started dropping. Now it's a different story. Watch the movie. It's called On the Beach. It'll invoke thought. And that's what I try to do here, you know. Anytime I'm talking about a subject, as long as I invoke thought in one person about one topic, I consider it a win. I'll take it. If people just listen or watch and they don't fucking learn nothing, or I don't invoke any thought, they just go about their business, think about what they're going to have for lunch. Well, not very impactful. But invoking thought is a win. And that movie will invoke thought. Scary. It's fucking frightening. And again, I think the word is just because of the helplessness. So I hope that didn't give up too much of the plot. There you go, folks. That's my quick talk. I'll see you guys on the next one. Hug your kids. Hug your old lady. Let's have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day on this beautiful planet that we call the Earth. Peace out, my friends.